Quincy Jones is a musical legend whose career spans over 7 decades, touching virtually every corner of the music industry, from jazz and film scores to pop and R&B. Known for his versatility, production skills, and a deep understanding of musical nuance, Jones has left an indelible mark on the world of music and entertainment. Here's a deep dive into his journey. Early life and musical beginnings. Birth and upbringing. Quincy Delight Jones Jr. was born on March 14, 1933, in Chicago, Illinois. Raised during the Great Depression, he moved to Seattle, Washington, with his family at the age of 10. It was there that he began playing the trumpet, which became his gateway into the world of music. High school and early jazz exposure. While attending Garfield High School, Jones met Ray Charles, who would become a lifelong friend and collaborator. Both shared a passion for music, particularly jazz, and they often played together. Scholarship and first recordings. In 1951, Jones received a scholarship to study at the Berklee College of Music in Boston, but he left after a year to tour with jazz legend Lionel Hampton. This experience helped him hone his skills in arranging and composing. Rise in jazz, the 1950s, big bands and early arrangements. In the mid-1950s, Jones gained fame as an arranger and composer, working with prominent figures like Count Basie, Duke Ellington, and Sarah Vaughan. He quickly became known for his innovative arrangements. Moved to Paris. In 1957, Quincy moved to Paris, where he studied under famed classical composer Nadia Boulanger. This experience exposed him to European classical traditions, broadening his musical range. Formation of his own big band. In the late 50s, Jones formed his own big band, a rare feat for African-American musicians at the time. Although the band was critically acclaimed, financial struggles forced them to disband. Breaking into film scoring. The 1960s, film and television work. Quincy Jones became one of the first African-American composers to break into Hollywood. His first major film score was for Sidney Lumet's The Pawnbroker, 1964. His jazz-infused scores became popular, and he worked on films like In Cold Blood, 1967, and In the Heat of the Night, 1967. Television scores. In the 1960s, Jones composed iconic TV themes, including for the popular series Ironside, 1967, marking the first synthesizer-based TV theme. Music production. During this period, he began working as a producer for Mercury Records, eventually becoming a vice president, the first black person to hold such a high position at a major record label. Transition to pop and R&B. The 1970s. Album production. Quincy continued producing his own music, with albums like Walking in Space, 1969, and Smackwater Jack, 1971, incorporating elements of jazz, soul, and funk. Hitmaker. He produced chart-topping albums for Aretha Franklin and later produced the multi-genre, Grammy-winning album The Dude, 1981. This album included hits like Just Once and 100 Ways. Film scores and soundtracks. Jones also scored films like The Italian Job, 1969, and The Getaway, 1972, blending jazz, funk, and orchestral music. He worked with a range of artists, which further expanded his influence in pop and R&B. Partnership with Michael Jackson. The 1980s. Iconic collaboration. Quincy Jones' most famous partnership began in 1978 when he met Michael Jackson while working on The Wiz. Jackson later asked him to produce his album Off the Wall, 1979, which became a monumental success, marking the first time an artist had 4 top 10 hits from a single album. Thriller. In 1982, Jones produced Thriller, one of the best-selling albums of all time. This album redefined pop music and showcased Jones' talent for blending genres like pop, rock, R&B, and funk. Thriller won a record-breaking 8 Grammy Awards in 1984 and became the best-selling album of all time. Bad, their third collaboration, Bad, 1987, produced more chart-topping hits and further cemented both Jackson's and Jones's legacies. The album introduced a harder-edged sound and included hits like Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, and Man in the Mirror. Beyond music, the 1990s and 2000s ventures into film production. Jones co-produced The Color Purple, 1985, which earned 11 Academy Award nominations. His production company, Quincy Jones Entertainment, later created TV shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Humanitarian work. Jones has always been dedicated to humanitarian causes. In 1985, he produced the global hit, We Are the World, a charity single to raise funds for African famine relief. Written by Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie, the song featured a star-studded lineup and became an anthem for charitable causes worldwide. Publishing and media ventures. Quincy established Vibe magazine in 1993 to spotlight hip-hop culture and African-American music. He later expanded into multimedia with ventures focused on African-American media representation. Legacy and influence. Awards and recognition. Jones has won 28 Grammy Awards and received a Grammy Legend Award in 1992. He's been honored with an honorary Oscar and numerous accolades celebrating his contribution to music and entertainment. Mentorship and advocacy. Quincy has mentored countless artists, from Michael Jackson to Oprah Winfrey. He remains a vocal advocate for the arts and continues to inspire new generations of musicians. Continued influence. Despite his age, Quincy Jones remains active in the music industry, frequently collaborating with modern artists. His work in music, film, and television has transcended generational divides, and his impact on pop culture is immense. Musical style and innovation. Quincy Jones is celebrated for his ability to merge genres seamlessly. His work features a mix of jazz harmonies, orchestral arrangements, and pop sensibilities, which has allowed him to cross cultural and genre boundaries throughout his career. His innovative use of synthesizers, orchestration, and vocal arrangements set new standards in both jazz and pop music. Jones' musical journey is a testament to his adaptability, curiosity, and boundless creativity. His life's work illustrates not only an impressive personal career, but also an influence that has shaped the sound of modern music.
Just a heads up, the background beat in this video is available for download. Click the link to access it on our website.